everyone, my name is Shilpa and today I'm going to do my presentation on this topic called Connecting Communities, Reducing Social Isolation Among Indian-born older adults, 65 plus and over age in Blacktown, LGA. So I chose this topic because I have seen this issue myself. I work as a community worker and I have seen Indian old migrants sitting alone in their houses, and even they were living in a very busy multicultural suburbs like Blacktown. So I would say they are socially invisible but physically present. And I chose this 65 plus community because this is the age where retirement starts. The health issues start increasing, and also the social circles start disappearing. Next slide, please. So now let's talk about the overview of the community. So as you all know, my chosen community is Indian-born older adults in Blacktown. And Blacktown is one of the most cultural diverse LGA in Australia. So let's talk about the Blacktown population. It's 397,000 people that are living in Blacktown right now, and this is according to the ABS Census 2021 data. And among those population, there is 43,767 residents who are over 65 plus of age, and that also makes up about 11% of the total population. Most importantly, 44% of the residents, they were born overseas, so that makes Blacktown more multicultural. So now let's talk about the chosen community, which is Indian-born older adults. So as you can see from the graph, India makes up about, India is the largest country of birth in Blacktown, surpassing all the other countries, and like Philippines, New Zealand, Fiji, China, etc. It has the highest percentage. Next slide, please. So from the data, we can say that the Indian aging population is one of the Blacktown aging population right now. And as we all know that Indian old-born residents, it comes under the Blacktown's CALD population, which is culturally and linguistically diverse aging population. And if I talk about the characteristics of the Indian older adults, they can speak Hindi, they can speak Punjabi at home, and they were migrated to Australia through family sponsorship, and they live in areas where extended families live. So we can say that in Blacktown, Indian population is the growing CALD population right now. Next slide, please. So now I have talked about the overview of the community. Let's talk about the issue that's affecting the community. So the issue I have identified is social isolation, and according to Blacktown City Council 2016, Blacktown has been identified as a priority issue in Blacktown. There is a limited research that is specifically on Indian-born older adults, but there is strong Australian research and evidence that shows that the CALD adults, they experience the same barriers, like same structural barriers that leads to social isolation. And also there is New South Wales parliamentary submission that highlights that language barriers within South Asian migrant communities can also lead to social isolation because they feel loneliness because of the language barriers and all. Next slide, please. So now again, Indian-born older adults, they form the part of CALD aging population, and yes, they experience the same structural barriers like other CALD communities in Blacktown. For example, they find it hard to navigate the services, etc. So now let's talk about the root causes that I have identified in the Indian-born old community. So number one is language limitation. For example, limited English skills, like limited speaking English skills. Some of the people, they can't speak English, and that leads to social isolation. Number two is limited availability of culturally responsive aged care services. For example, we don't know if there are aged care that provides Indian meals like 3 times a day, but we know that there are aged care that provides the the English food, but and also we don't know that the aged care they celebrate Indian festival. So there is like a culturally responsive services issue in aged care, and if they go to those aged care, that leads to social isolation as well. So now intergenerational settlementship, that means the difference between the Australian-born Indian people, children, and their parents. So it makes the age gap that leads to social isolation as well. And the next is systemic exclusion from mainstream community participation space. It can also lead to social isolation. Next slide, please. So now why this issue matters? According to me, this issue matters because social isolation is not an emotion. It can also lead to public health risk. So according to Australian Institute of Health and Welfare Reports 2024, it has been identified that social isolation is associated with increased risk of depression and poorer mental health outcomes among older adults. And there is another research that says that social isolation and loneliness are associated with increased risk of premature mortality. So social isolation can actually cause premature death. So that's why this issue needs to be identified. And in culturally diverse LGAs such as Blacktown, if we choose to ignore this issue, it can actually widen the existing health inequities between the cohort population. And according to Kang in Hand, if we see it from community development perspective, which says that strong communities are built upon participation, inclusion, and empowerment, but social isolation, it does opposite to that. So yes, that's why it needs to be addressed. And if we see this issue from a clinical social work perspective, it is all about the systemic marginalization. It is not an individual weakness. So yes, addressing social isolation, it strengthens the community cohesion, promotes the healthy aging, and reducing long-term pressure on health and social services. So yes, that's why this issue needs to be resolved, because if the old people, if they don't have the social isolation, they will feel connected and they will feel like they have their inclusion and participation in this community and in Australia. Thank you.